Hello guys, welcome to Shinas Healing Center. I'm Dr.Kavitha Warrier. Today I'm going to talk about Hijama, which is one of the most spiritual ancient treatment among the whole world. Prophet Mohammed has said in Hadith, Qalan Nabiyu sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Khairu Dawa al-Hijamatu al-Fastu. It is said that Hijama is one of the best treatment for treating sickness. It is one of the best cure. Now, about Hijama, it is also said that there are three healing treatments among the whole world. First one is honey, second one is Hijama, and the third one is cauterization of fire. Now, the third one is actually forbidden by the Muslim community, and the first two has been accepted. Hijama has been in the whole world among the Arabian countries in the first few decades, and in Asia, Europe, Africa, and all these countries. Just like Ayurveda in Kerala, Acupuncture in Chinese, Sujok in Korean, just like that, Hijama is mostly in those Arabian countries. Now, recently it has been introduced in Kerala, and many of the people have been practicing Hijama. Now, Hijama has the ability to cure a lot of big list of diseases like liver problems, kidney problems, and injury related, like if anybody has fell down, or frozen shoulders, sciatica, back pain, or if somebody cannot lift their shoulder, and it also cures infertility, helps to reduce weight loss, very big list of diseases. Now, before doing Hijama, Prophet Muhammad has said a particular hadith in that. So it goes like this, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. It means before doing the treatment, we kind of pray to Allah, the God, and we really want that particular person or the patient who's lying down there to have a reduction in their disease or whatever discomfort they're going through. We really want that disease to reduce down. And so that is why reciting this particular slok or mantra is really helps, and it really gives us a positive energy and also positive to that particular patient. Now, it's really good if everybody can recite this in your mind, right? Now, what does Hijama do in our body? Hijama has the ability to remove the toxins by removing impure blood from our body. It also helps to increase the blood circulation and increase immunity, and also it helps to improve our memory, sharpens the eye vision. There are a lot of benefits. Have you heard about RBC, red blood cells? It helps to increase the ability of the oxygen which RBC is carrying to various parts of the body. Now, through Hijama, it can be increased RBC, WBC, and WBC plays a very important role in immunity. Nowadays, because of the COVID pandemic, we really need immunity. And so these are the things where Hijama comes into impact. Right now, there are a lot of types in Hijama, only 2 or 3 types I'm going to mention right now. The first one is dynamic therapy, dry therapy, and wet therapy. Now, one thing is common in Hijama is we use the English, it is said cupping therapy. Hijama is actually an Arabic word, and cupping therapy is an English word. So the name itself mentions what we actually do. We use it with the help of cups. Now, that is the first thing we do is to place the cup on a particular point. That will be the Marma point. There are a lot of Marma points in our body. So we place that particular cup on the skin, on the body, and with the help of a vacuum pump, we pull it up like that, and a suction is created, a vacuum is created in that particular point. Now, in dynamic, what we do is we drag that cup all over the body, wherever there are issues, we drag it up there and like a massage with the help of the cup. And it increases the blood circulation, and we get a really good feel in that. Now, in dry cupping therapy, what happens is that there is no movement, there is no dragging, it's just still there, just still lies down on that particular point, which helps to regenerate the cells and also, as I said before, increase the blood circulation. In wet therapy, the only difference is before we do that suction, we put a small cut on top of the skin, very small. It's not painful at all, don't worry about that. So we put a really small cut on top of that, and through that the impure blood is collected in the cup. Now that part is a main part in Hijama where our body's blood is collected. Now people have doubts like whether this is impure blood or whether this is a real blood. So I must say that the impure blood is 90% which is collected in the cup, but along with that the real blood also gets collected. But that's a good thing because our cells need to regenerate, and some of the fresh blood should be there in our body for fresh oxygen, which really plays a very important role in our body. Now, another thing which we have to keep in our mind is when do we do Hijama? Hijama can be done in any time, any day, but according to Prophet Muhammad, which has said that according to the Arabian calendar, 17, 19 and 21 date is one of the spiritual time where we do Hijama, and there's kind of like the month of the moon or something which is said, and that time is the best time to do Hijama, right? But otherwise we can do it anytime, no problem. And the most important part is like who should not do Hijama. The contraindications, which I'm going to say right now, pregnant ladies should not do Hijama, but if they have like a swelling or they have a pain in the back or ankles or something like a knee, they can do Hijama, there's no issues. And small kids, especially under the years of 10, they should not do Hijama. And old aged people, they have wrinkles on their skin, they should not do Hijama. And people who have like a reduced blood count or reduced HB, or they have any other issues, blood-related issues, or which have a spreading issues like some skin disease, they spread, hepatitis B, HIV, like that, they also should not do Hijama. But again, I'm saying just one thing, that if they have any issues regarding anything regarding their health, like if they need to do Hijama, they should tell their whole medical history to that particular doctor and to the therapist and take the necessary precautions, and then you can do the Hijama. Right. And another part is some people will be having like they'll be undergoing through a menstrual period. They can also do Hijama, no issues. But as I said, you should take the necessary precautions. Right. Now, what I'm going to say the next part is about the precautions. What all precautions should be taken? What should we keep in our mind? The important part is the cups. The cup, when we use for a particular patient, we can reuse it for them, but it should be sterilized, very clean, very neat. It cannot be reused to another person. Another thing is that the place where we put the cup and where we do the Hijama, it should be very neat, very clean. There should be no infection or anything else on that particular place. Another thing is people who have done a hot water bath, immediately they should not do Hijama. Or somebody had some beverages and there will be sugar content in that juice or something, they should not do Hijama. They should just do it afterwards. They could drink a lot of water, urinate it and excrete it, everything, and then they can drink water and then they can do the Hijama. And one more thing is some people having heart related problems like a heart attack, and they may be consuming some kind of like aspirin kind of medicine. They can stop that medicine and then they can do Hijama. But one thing you have to make sure is whatever medical history you have, you should inform that particular doctor and the therapist, and make them feel like they know everything about you. After that, you can continue doing that Hijama. Another thing is each and every person's skin is kind of really different. So some people we do the Hijama and that blood will not be coming out completely, only very few drops of blood. So we should not do any deep cutting which will make them feel uncomfortable, right? Another most important part is some people's skin will be very white and we could see the veins and the artery traveling along. So for them, we should not do the places where the artery is going along, right? So just keep these things in our mind and always make sure that the particular person knows everything about the Hijama and what does this procedure do to you. So just keep these things in our mind, and if you have any doubts, you can just type under the comment section and you'll get your reply. Okay, so I think Hijama is the most spiritual ancient treatment among the whole treatment category. So I think everybody, especially in this COVID pandemic situation, should at least one time try it and do the Hijama treatment, and just make sure that you take all the necessary precautions, right? So if you have any doubts, just ask, and I'm always there with you. Thank you.